Team deathmatch. All operatives, you're clear to engage.
Changing mags! Target down! Taking effective fire! Switching mags! Alright, let's go! Last mag! Grenade!
Get to cover!
Lucky for you, I was around!
Grenade out! I've got your back!
Hostiles launched a cruise missile.
On your six!
Sniper's down! Changing mags!
Frag out! Grenade out!
I'm taking fire! Damn, that shit was close. Got your six!
Hostile care package inbound. Hostile Mosquito is online.
Switching mags!
Friendly UAV online.
Contact! Friendly fire! Watch it! Grenade out!
Stun
Hostile
grenade out!
UAV in the area.
With you,
Grenade
mate.
out!
Contact!
Whoa! Took one out! Taking effective fire! Changing mags!
Reloading.
Grenade out!
Taking effective fire!
I'm taking fire! Grenade out! Contact!
Covering your six.
Watch your fire!
Grenade out!
Taking fire!
Grenade out!
lead. Clock's ticking.
Taking fire over here. With you, mate.
Taking effective fire!
Enemy UAV
Switching mags.
active.
Whoa!
Ground. Push them back. Hostile UAV in the area.
Enemy down! Ammo here! Grenade out! Grenade out! Grenade out!
Got your back.
Grenade out!
Enemy contact. Look around. Right, that's it. Shake it.
Contact! Changing mags!
Hostiles deployed a Mosquito.
Grenade out!
One minute remaining.
Grenade out!
30 seconds remain. Hostile
Switching mags.
missile incoming.
Damn, that shit was close.
Standing by.
Need recon overhead!
Copy
Copy that. UAV online and orbiting the AO.
Mission failed. Return to base.
Destroyed Hamas, and we've been getting a hint as to how long that campaign may indeed last.
Well, the Israelis are saying that it's going to take many months. Palestinians had been hoping that after that UN resolution to get more aid into Gaza that was passed a few days ago, that this wide-scale bombing campaign from the north to the south of Gaza would be replaced with something more targeted. But that is not what people are seeing. Over the last few days, huge civilian casualties in Gaza. The Palestinian health officials are generally saying around 200 people are being killed every day. Now people in the central part of Gaza, around 60,000 people, have been told to leave refugee camps there and move to Deir al-Balah. The problem is, though, for everyone in Gaza, they can't escape from Gaza. All of the borders are closed, the Israeli borders, the Egyptian borders. So while this war continues, they have nowhere safe to go. And that's why day after day we're seeing, relentless bombing campaigns and huge civilian losses of life.
OK, Nicole, for that update from Jerusalem, thank you. Back here, the Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt, has announced that he will set out a spring budget in March, probably the last opportunity to make any tax cuts before the next general election. The Conservatives have been hinting that they are going to introduce a number of tax and spending pledges, including cutting costs for the first-time buyers and possibly slashing inheritance tax. Here's our chief political correspondent, John Craig.
Post-Christmas sales this year were down slightly on last year. And as New Year approaches, Tory MPs are hoping Jeremy Hunt will put more money in shoppers' pockets, with tax cuts in a pre-election budget, which he's announced will be on March the 6th. After an autumn statement in which he cut national insurance, but overall tax levels rose, Mr Hunt gave a pre-Christmas pledge that he hopes to cut taxes in the budget.
When we can, we want to bring down the tax burden so that people keep more of the money that they earn every month.
One option is scrapping inheritance tax in a pre-election giveaway. But some Tory MPs want other measures too.
I think all tax cuts are good, and I know inheritance tax is one that most people dislike when they hear of it, but I do believe it would be better personally if we could see further reductions with the national insurance or some reductions in the income tax.
Cutting inheritance tax would create a clear dividing line with Labour. But the opposition says it's more about keeping Tory MPs happy.
cuts. We've had 25 tax rises in this Parliament alone. I think people are feeling the squeeze. People are feeling the cost of living crisis, and our NHS is on its knees. So what the Prime Minister is briefing about at the moment has far more to do with internal Conservative politics than it does with what is right for the country.
Other possible budget measures include help for first-time buyers, such as government support for longer fixed-term mortgages to reduce the amount needed for a deposit.
Hello, how are you?
Whenever the election comes, the Tories hope a budget giveaway will boost their chances.
And let's join John. He's in Westminster for us. So, John, are we looking at an early-ish election?
Well, the date is very early, 6th of March. Last year it was the 15th. Last time there was a pretty early one was 1992. That was Norman Lamont. And, of course, that was the year that John Major had an election on the 9th of April, won by 21 seats when he wasn't expected to. Labour were confident. Well, Mr Sunak would take a 21-seat majority now. But is it to convince people that he's serious about an early election, or is it just to taunt Labour into thinking there's going to be an early election? October still remains favourite, but of course there's this Tory clamour for tax cuts, and Mr Hunt has signalled that if he can, he will cut taxes. But of course the Tories will want that money to get into people's pockets. So if there are to be tax cuts, he'll want them to be in people's pay packets in April. And so the door is still open for a May election, but only slightly ajar, really. There's a lot of game playing going on here. A favourite for the timing of the election is still October.
And John, stay with us if you would. We're just getting some breaking news. The former European Commission President Jacques Delors, founding father, of course, of the European Union's single currency project, he's died at the age of 98. John, famous target, of course, of The Sun with that headline, "Up yours, Delors."
He was a giant of European politics. He was a French politician who had served in the French government. He was finance minister. He was an MEP before he became president of the Commission. Now, that was in 1985 when Margaret Thatcher was Britain's prime minister. He served for another 10 years. And, of course, he was a real pantomime villain for English and Scottish and British Conservative MPs. And, of course, he clashed many, many times with Margaret Thatcher during her time, and then later with John Major. He was, of course, a great federalist. Yes, he was the argument. He wanted ever closer union in Europe, a single currency, which, of course, later happened without the UK because Gordon Brown kept the UK out of it. But he has lived to quite an age, 98, and in France in particular, he will be sadly mourned. But he was a very controversial figure, particularly in this country, and he clashed bitterly with Margaret Thatcher over the years. And well, he was, as I say, he was a giant because he was Commission President for 10 years and left quite an imprint, really. But he'll be remembered, really, for his battles with the likes of Margaret Thatcher and later John Major.
He will. John, thank you. The breaking news then this hour. Former European Commission President Jacques Delors has died at the age of 98. Do stay with us on the News Hour. Coming up after the break, a huge drone attack along the front line in Ukraine. We'll have analysis from our military expert, Sean Bell. And chaos for nature. The National Trust paints a bleak picture as weather in the UK becomes more unpredictable.
I'm Adam Parsons. I'm Sky's Europe correspondent based here in Brussels. More flares going off, a volley of rocks. Cobbles have been pulled up out and are being used as missiles to hurl at these police. We take you to the heart of stories that shape our world. We aim to be the best and most trusted place for news. We have now left Italy and entered France. Nobody's asked to check our identity. Made by people who dare to challenge. Nice to see you again, Mr. Barnier. Why? Meeting you. Fishing does have the potential to stymie an enormous economic deal. What strikes you when you come to this glacier is not just the way in which the environment is changing, but the speed at which those changes are happening.
It's devastating, actually.
Welcome back. Ukraine says it has shot down 32 drones in an overnight attack from Russia that hit multiple targets on the front lines. It comes after a Ukrainian missile strike on a landing ship in Crimea and Moscow's claim that it seized the city of Marinka. Well, joining me now to discuss this is our military analyst, Sean Bell. What do we know then, Sean, about this drone attack? Is it retaliation, do you think?
It's hardly coincidence, I don't think, Jonathan. Good evening. I mean, overnight, Russia launched wave upon wave upon wave of drone attacks against Ukraine, total of about 46. The Ukrainians claim that they've shot down 32 of these drones. And actually what we're looking at is you see the familiar triangular shape there, which is the Shahed 136 drone, that Iranian drone that flies fairly slowly. They can normally target that fairly well. But as you say, this is not coincidence. This has happened a few hours as Russian retribution because the Ukrainian Air Force successfully struck a landing craft at one of the Crimean ports yesterday. That caused a huge explosion, which we can see here. That's unusual for a landing craft, almost certainly was packed full of explosives. Now, the Russians did admit it was damaged. Here's the ship here. You can see it at dock. That's before. If we show you the after picture now, that's not just damage, that's been completely destroyed. Now, the Russians also claim they'd shot down the two Ukrainian fast jets that had done the attack, which, of course, Ukraine denies that was the case at all. Interestingly, the UK Defence Secretary, Grant Shapps, weighed in and said this is a great example where Ukraine is actually on the front foot, that the war is not at stalemate, and also highlighted that the Ukrainians have actually targeted and hit 20% of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, even though Ukraine doesn't actually have an active navy at the moment.
OK, and also Russia claiming it has seized Marinka. How significant is that?
Well, when we talk about targeting ships or targeting tanks or other things, it sounds important, but bluntly, the only metrics of success in this war are going to be territory claimed, territory seized. And of course, the Ukrainian spring offensive has been going over 6 months now, bluntly hasn't moved the front lines much at all. What Russia's been doing that whole time is focusing on the Donbass. You can see the black sort of outline of the Donbass here. You'll remember at Bakhmut, over a year, 30,000 deaths resulted when they seized that. Over the last few months, the Russians have been throwing forces at Avdiivka. They haven't seized that, but also at Marinka. And we heard on Christmas Day, the Russians announced that they had finally taken Marinka. Now, at the time, Ukraine said they hadn't. 24 hours later, the boss of the Ukrainian military, Valery Zaluzhny, admitted that they've had to withdraw from that town. Now, it's an absolute wreck, the town. Even so, tactically, it might not seem like much, but this is the middle of winter. Fighting is particularly difficult at the moment. And given the fact that this is an example of Russia is on the front foot, I'm sure that Russia, and particularly President Putin, will be absolutely delighted with that news.
OK, Sean, as always, thank you. OK, no, very stormy conditions, very tricky out on the roads in particular. Let's get the details.
Warm memories wherever you go. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
Yes, severe gales and heavy rain from Storm Gerrit will be mostly gone by tomorrow, but it'll stay very windy with widespread blustery showers and prolonged rain returning on Saturday. Before then, the Northern Isles will see further rain and hill snow this evening with gusts of over 80 miles an hour in places. Elsewhere, it'll remain very windy with widespread squally showers, but much of eastern Britain will be dry. Rain and snow over Scotland will become confined to Shetland overnight.
The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
Lots more still to come on the News Hour, including: is wildlife in the UK facing a worsening crisis? The National Trust says it's in chaos. Hello again. A 16-year-old boy has been arrested on suspicion of arson after a fire at the Oratory School in West London. 10 fire engines and around 100 firefighters were called to the incident. Our correspondent, Sadia Chowdhury, is at the scene in West London. Sadia, what can you tell us about what caused this?
Well, that's still under investigation. The London Fire Brigade and the Metropolitan Police both involved in trying to investigate what happened. A 16-year-old boy, as you say, has been arrested on suspicion of arson. About 100 firefighters were involved throughout the morning and into the early afternoon hours trying to get this fire under control. They did manage that. The fire is now out, but you can see there is still some activity here. And the road, which was closed, now reopened except for a short cordon that is in place and a few people trying to get to Stamford Bridge, which is Chelsea's stadium, just on the other side of the school, having to be turned away. They're, of course, playing tonight. Now, we've had an update from the London Fire Brigade. Let me bring you that first, and then we can go into the rest of the details.
It was an automatic fire alarm, and we got called at 11 minutes past 10 this morning. The crews worked extremely hard and got the fire under control at 11:47. Due to the fire, there was 10 fire engines in attendance. That's 100 firefighters, and at the moment, the fire is under investigation with the Fire Brigade and the Metropolitan Police.
Well, we've also had an update from the London Ambulance Service who say that they did attend, but that there weren't any injuries to tend to. And as I said before, a 16-year-old boy has been arrested. There is still some activity here with structural engineers needing to come and make sure that the site is safe. So fire brigade still present inside the school grounds. And the school, of course, luckily closed over the Christmas holidays, so no one was on the premises, was meant to be on the premises. It is not due to reopen until the 8th of January in the new year.
OK, Sadia, thank you. Right, let's get more reaction now to the Chancellor's announcement of a string budget in March. It comes as the Conservatives have been hinting at a number of tax and spending pledges to be announced. Well, I'm joined now by Giles Kenningham, former Director of Communications for the Conservative Party and former Head of Press at Number 10 Downing Street. Great to see you this evening. Thanks for your time this Christmas. So 10 weeks today, it's a very early budget this, isn't it? 6th of March. What's the thinking?
Look, I don't really buy the speculation there's going to be an early election, but clearly what you're seeing is the Tories trying to frame this election on the battleground they are traditionally strongest, which is the economy. You know, talk of cutting inheritance tax, talk of raising the 40p threshold, and clearly, like any sort of economic measures, will take a long time, will take a period to feed into the economy. So probably whilst they're trying to go early-ish with the budget, I think all this talk of an early election, though, provided it doesn't get out of control, is not unhelpful to Tories, because clearly they want to force Labour to show their hand and actually to reveal some policies. Clearly, the strategy of Starmer and the Labour Party is really to do nothing and hope they can just sail in under the radar.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're not expecting a spring election necessarily. When do you think it might come?
Look, I think it'll probably be October or November. I know the Tories are still lagging far behind in the polls. They've still got a lot of money to raise. And also bear in mind, they haven't selected a lot of their candidates, neither have Labour. So it would take a huge effort to do all that by sort of March, April. So, yeah, I think, as I said, it's not unhelpful for the Tories that this speculation continues, provided it doesn't get out of hand, because I think it will force Labour to show more of their hand in terms of having to unveil more policies. And the Tories will hope with that sort of further, more intense scrutiny that perhaps some of their policies will unravel and perhaps Starmer will unravel. He is so far actually pretty much untested.
Yeah, but he's right, isn't he, when he says this is going to come 14 years after 14 years of economic failure, leaving working people worse off. The Lib Dems saying it's the last throw of the dice for a failing government.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the challenge the Tories are going to face, isn't it? You've seen that Sunak has tried to position himself as the change candidate, and exactly, Labour and Lib Dems will say, look, this is too little, too late. I suppose the question for the Labour Party really is, though, are they trusted on the economy? Traditionally, it is their weakest area. It's always been the area in which they've fallen down on. And notwithstanding, I think Starmer's favourability ratings are pretty low. I think they're about -19, -20. in 2010, when we were coming into election years, I think Cameron's favourability rating was plus 16. I think Blair's was plus 21 in 1997. So whilst the Tories have still got a massive electoral mountain to climb, I don't think it is a done deal yet.
Yeah, economy in the real doldrums.
Yeah, of course, and there is a danger that they eat into their votes. Certainly, I suspect in some of the sort of southeast Surrey seats, and they effectively split the vote and allow Lib Dems to come through. So yeah, I think that is a big concern for them. I suppose, there is still a question mark. Do Labour and Lib Dems do an unofficial deal? So they won't do anything officially, but, do the Lib Dems really not properly fight some of the red wall seats? They don't split the vote. And likewise, will Labour basically stand off in some of those southwest seats where they are essentially Tory Lib Dem marginals to allow Lib Dems to have a proper go at it? I mean, I still think that, I think Starmer has to get a bigger swing than Blair got in 97. So I think, all this talk of a majority being a done deal is premature. I can still see a scenario, a situation where you could possibly even get a Lab-Lib coalition as well, and another hung parliament.
Yeah, in the last century, no party has won 5 elections in a row, it's true to say. And just finally, as a former director of comms then, what would be your New Year message to Rishi Sunak? What does he need to do if he's going to stand any chance?
Well, I think you've seen them taking the right steps just over this Christmas period. They need to fight this election on the battleground, the area which they're strongest, which is the economy. And they need to put more pressure under Starmer. As I said, so far, I think he's pretty much untested. I don't think he's particularly agile, particularly light on his feet. He's not a great thinker. He's not one of life's great orators. They need to really put him under a lot more pressure and, continue just to make the political weather, which they've started to do. But, obviously there's 12 months and a lot more to do. I suppose the other issue for the Tories is, can they maintain unity? It is a delicate coalition within the Tory party. There are many different factions, and that will, party management will be a huge, huge challenge for Starmer over the coming months.
Yeah, we saw just how tricky that is before Christmas, didn't we? The timing of the election certainly will obsess Westminster from the start of the year. For now, though, Giles Kenningham, former Director of Comms for the Conservative Party. Great to have you on the programme. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, tributes are being paid to the man known as the King of Breakfast, Australian restaurateur, chef and food writer Bill Granger. His family says he passed away peacefully in hospital on Christmas Day, surrounded by loved ones. He was just 54 years old. The self-taught cook was best known for popularising the iconic avocado on toast.
It's hard to believe such a simple dish, avocado on toast, has become such a cultural signifier of a whole generation. In Australia, there was politicians who said young people couldn't afford to buy a house because they were spending too much money on avocado toast.
Yeah, really sad news. Celebrity chefs have taken to social media to pay tribute. Nigella Lawson said he was the loveliest man, and the joy he gave us, whether through his food, his books, the spaces he made for us, or in person, came from the kindness and generosity and sheer shining exuberance of his very self. So devastated for his family. It is too cruel. That was Nigella Lawson. And Jamie Oliver posted, "This is such sad news. I loved Bill Granger so much. He was such a wonderful man, warm, charming, and had an extraordinary ease and style in cooking that could only come from Australia. Bless you, Bill. So much love." Tributes there to Bill Granger, who has died at the age of 54. Rising average temperatures, changing seasons and increasingly unpredictable weather are causing chaos for UK nature. That's according to the National Trust today. The charity's annual report paints a bleak picture for the nation's wildlife, trees and plants. This year, the UK recorded its hottest June on record, with extreme heat and drought becoming more common. Sabah Chowdhury reports.
This year may have not only been the hottest on record, but the warmest in the past 120,000 years. The sunshine, however, comes at a cost.
We've got two issues going on here. One is the locked-in climate change, which is seeing this continuing trend of hotter weather on average, both at the UK as well as globally, and also an increase in these extreme weather events.
This unpredictable weather is causing chaos for our surroundings. And it's our animals paying the price. Deers, for example, are being born later than normal, meaning they don't have body fat to survive winter, making them more vulnerable to disease and death. This autumn was wetter and warmer than usual, with Storm Babette and Kieran flooding parts of the UK, affecting our nature and wildlife.
So what we have here is a semi-natural flood defence.
But according to experts, nature itself can provide a solution to the impact of climate change.
Yes, I think with climate change, it's not so much a solution, it's more about managing our responses to how climate change is affecting us. And so that means that we have to be investing in a wide variety of measures, very local measures like we've been seeing about how to protect local areas from flooding or improve their drought tolerance, but also in broader terms, our agricultural systems. We need to be investing in those to make those more drought tolerant or more flood resilient.
Promising, but we shouldn't be lulled into a false sense of security. As the world gets hotter, the weather becomes more extreme. And so, experts warn, adapting to this new norm may be our only option. Sabah Chowdhury, Sky News in Watford.
Well, do stay with us on the News Hour. Coming up, why Pep Guardiola and his Manchester City players have it all to do heading into the new year. Sport for you in a couple of minutes.
enemy. Capturing A. We're attacking Bravo. Capturing A.
Grenade out!
Capturing B.
Changing mags!
We're attacking Alpha. We're engaging Alpha.
All right, let's go!
Gotcha 6.
Contact! One objective remaining. Won that round. Get ready for the next one. Switching sides. Control. Defending the objectives are priority 1.
On your 6.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Switching mags! Enemy UAV down! Changing mags!
They're taking B.
Gotcha 6! Grenade out!
Taking contact at Bravo. One minute remaining.
Grenade out! Grenade! Grenade!
Enemies at Bravo. They're taking B. We're down to our last objective. Defend it.
Got your back. Taking fire over here.
Switching mags! Ammo here!
Pasting that.
The enemy's low on reinforcements.
Taking effective fire! Grenade out! Changing mags!
30 seconds remain.
Enemy in the AO! Grenade!
10 seconds remaining.
Took one out! Switching mags!
Round secure. On to the next. Switching sides. Control. Take out the enemy and secure the objectives.
On your six. Troops in contact.
Friendly UAV online. Capturing A.
Contact in this area.
We're attacking Alpha.
And now you're dead.
Final minute. Capturing B. Capturing A.
Grenade!
Friendly UAV on station.
Throwing Semtex.
We're engaging Alpha. B secure. Last objective. Our counter UAV
Switching
is
mags.
active.
Grenade out! Moving here.
We're attacking Alpha.
Enemy dead!
Friendly UAV online. We're engaging Alpha. Be advised you're low on reinforcements. Enemy UAV active. We're attacking Alpha.
Enemy UAV down!
Hostile UAV in the area. Their reinforcements are done. 30 seconds left. We're engaging Alpha. No support is available at this time. You're on your own. 10 seconds. We're attacking Alpha. Prepare for the next one. Switching sides. Control. Set up a perimeter. Keep those objectives secure. Enemy UAV active.
Changing mags! Enemy UAV down!
They're taking A. One minute remaining.
Moving here!
taking B.
Grenade out! I'm taking fire!
Taking contact at Bravo. Hostile UAV in the area. Enemy at Bravo. Friendly Mosquito
Enemy
deployed.
UAV down!
Taking contact at Bravo.
Grenade out!
30 seconds remain.
Switching mags!
Enemies at Bravo.
Changing mags!
Hostile FAE near your position.
With you, mate.
Taking contact at Bravo. Hostiles launched a cruise missile.
Moving here!
They're running low on reinforcements. The enemy's low on reinforcements.
Grenade out!
Enemy spotted!
Remaining. Keep it. We lost B.
Switching mags! Whoa!
You're out of reinforcements. Advise you dig in.
Check your damn fire!
Enemy UAV active.
Changing mags! Whoa!
10 seconds remaining. The enemy's attacking Alpha. Enemies at Alpha.
Friendly fire! Watch it!
They're taking A. The enemy's attacking Alpha. The round is lost. Focus on the next one. Switching sides. Control. Defending the objectives are priority one.
Got your
On your 6.
Hostile UAV in the area. They're taking B.
Switching mags!
They're taking B.
Enemy UAV down! Sniper here!
On your 6.
Changing mags! Ammo here!
We're down to our last objective. Defend. We lost B.
Enemy mark.
Moving here! Cancel that!
Moving here.
Switching mags!
Enemy UAV act.
Changing mags! Taking effective fire!
Enemies at Alpha.
Grenade out!
The sniper's down!
Final minute. The enemy's attacking Alpha. Friendly UAV on station. The enemy's running low on reinforcements.
I see an
30
enemy!
seconds left.
But it's going to be close.
Enemies at
Grenade
Alpha.
out! Grenade out! Take your damn fire! Reloading! Whoa!
10 seconds. The mission's complete. Good work.
Attract mode activated.